Welcome back, World of Warcraft fans, to another episode of Casual Encounters. This is episode 2.1, and I'm back for my second week. This is the show where I watch, some YouTube channels, and I watch shows like Legendary, Convert to Raid, and FatBoss Weekly, stuff like that. And I listen, and I like to give my opinions about all the stuff I'm hearing. So that's what I'm doing in my videos. If this is the first time you're here, there's still some great stuff you can look at from my last week's episode. Um, Lots of good topics. This week, I was uh, I was a little surprised. No legendary has come up. It's Tuesday already, and yeah, legendary hasn't come up yet. I don't know if they didn't do one this week or what's going on, but I did still get a couple of topics I could talk about that I got from Convert to Raid. Um, I did a little browsing through the WoW Insider webpage. I got some ideas for that, and what else? There was a couple of other topics that I just thought about, things that I were thinking about in the past, and just some ideas I had about some things that they can do to make World of Warcraft maybe a better game. And as usual, I will let you all know I'm a casual player. I'm an active player, but I raid casually. Um, so all my opinions are going to be sort of biased towards casual playing. And I don't think that's a bad thing, for considering that probably a very, very large base of the World of Warcraft players are probably casual raiders. Um, so, um, One of the first things I'll talk about today is something that the guys from Convert to Raid were talking about, and that is they were talking about how people in Flex, they're making these Flex groups, and they're plugging people in, and they're asking for a required um, eye level score, right? And some are asking 550 for an eye level score, and you only get 540 gear, right? But that's not really that big a deal. I could sort of understand, maybe they're just going through there, maybe they got some pieces of their legendary quest they need to pick up, and they just want to get through it quickly. Um, Maybe they just don't want to bring in a bunch of people who don't know the fights. These guys have probably, if you got a pretty high item level, you've probably done these things a few times. You know the fights. You just don't feel like having to explain. You did your time. You learned it. You just want to kind of get through it real quick, and that's totally understandable. If you've got that 550 item level and you're requesting 550 item level, I got no problem with that. Um, what the guys from Convert to Raid were talking about is people they're requesting. They're asking you to have a 550 item level. It's just an example, of course, and they're you get in there, and well, you're basically, they brought you in so that you can either carry them or some of their lower level guildies that they're trying to gear up. Um, that's I don't really think that's cool. Um, it's fine if it's all guildies or whatever. My colors are changing on my videos. Really annoying. I think I'm trying something new here. I thought my other videos were like a little blah. So from last week, so I'm trying with the old TV screen here behind me, but it seems every time color changes, all the camera seems to be adjusting to it, and changing all colors and brightness on my face too, but oh well. Anyways, no biggie. It's the content that counts, right? Um, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, like I was saying, um, if it's all guild, and you want to get your high level guildies in there to help bring through some geared people, um, you know that's fine. But if you start pugging people and you start saying you gotta have a 550 item level, and then you get in there and like they have a few guildies that are like 496, I don't think that's cool. I really don't. Um, you worked hard too. You see that request for 550 and thinking, oh great, everyone's high level. I'm gonna get in there. It's gonna go fast. And then you get in there and you're either carrying them, which if you do it, if you can carry them and everything goes smooth, no problem. But if you wipe because I don't know, maybe the healers weren't that geared, or maybe the tank wasn't that geared, or there just was just not enough DPS. Um, that's not cool. Um, I pug flexes quite a bit, and I use OQ. I mean, I'll try to get people from my realm first. If I can get some people from my realm, um, I will try to go that route first. Just in case, maybe I can, recruit a guildie or whatever. I can recruit some new people. But most of the time, I end up having to go into OQ, which is a great add-on, by the way. If anybody of you don't know, it's OQUEUE. It's a really good add-on. You can basically you can either browse pre-made groups that other people have made, or you can create your own pre-made group, and it's cross server, so it works all with battle tags. And you can go in, you can do a search. Say you want to get into an Ordos group. Oh, just type in Ordos in the search, and then you can see all the groups of people that are doing Ordos, and you just say, okay, put me on the wait list. And usually you get put brought in right away. Sometimes on the flexes you don't, maybe because they're already full, and maybe you're on a wait list. It's literally a wait list. But whatever the case, I create these groups, these pugs, and what I do is I'll usually ask the people in my guild, okay, what do you guys, what's your item level right now, and if they say, okay, I got one, it's a 525 or whatever, then I'll try to like just say so one person says, oh, I got, the lowest person says to me, okay, I got a 526. Okay, so I'll put you can actually put in OQ that you want, you're gonna type item level requirement, and I'll put like 525 or something. And that way, people, for me anyway, people at that point will be like, okay, they're doing 525, everybody's 525. Sometimes if we have some higher geared people, or I don't have anybody that low, like I think one time a couple weeks ago, like the lowest person was like 536 or something like that. And I put 530, because if everyone else is over 536, I can grab some 530 people. And I don't want to grab really anybody a lot lower, because we were, I don't want those people wiping me or whatever. Not to say that they would. I'm just saying it's just a better chance at a higher geared person. And they'll come in and they'll see that, oh look, great, everybody's nice high level. I'll grab the high levels whenever I can. Sure, I'm not gonna lie about it. If I see somebody go on the wait list, it's like in the 550s, 560s gram, I'm gonna grab them. But I had that item requirement there, and nobody in my guild is gonna have a lower requirement than that. And I just think that's just a fair way to do it. I just don't think it's cool to put in a requirement of 550, and then all your guildies are like 500, and you just getting trying to people to carry you through. It's not cool. I just don't think it's cool. So that's my take on that. What else did they talk about? Oh yeah, they were talking about, somebody was requesting that they should put in some healing dummies. You have target dummies. Well, they were talking about healing dummies so that maybe healers can go and you know, test out their healing abilities, see what kind of, you know, HPS they're getting, right? Um, and they were, you know, and some of the arguments were like, well, you know, it's not really a real situation on a dummy because, you know, you've got all kinds of stuff happening, and you know, it's not really the same. But well, that's kind of the same with DPS. I mean, you still have you go on your target. In no raid situation are you just going to have a boss standing there not doing anything, and you know, you don't have to move. I mean, that's it. The target dummy is there so you can test your pure DPS when you're not moving, right? I mean, you can move around if you want to see if you can, you know, check your mobile abilities. That's up to you if you want to do that while you're testing. But most people just use it just to, you know, they put in some haste, they put in some crit, and they want to see the difference or whatever. You know, just what their pure output is. And you know, healers can do the same thing. I mean, they can go in and they can just, you know, spam heal something and see what their HPS is. You can have a, if the target dummy maybe, you know, is taking, you know, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly how they would work it, but you know, maybe let's say the thing has like, you know, 2 billion health or something, but it always stays in the, it always goes to the middle. You know, it's always, you know, it takes damage, let's say, if you heal over so much, and then, you know, if it gets below so much, you know, then it just stops taking damage, something, whatever, it just stops taking that. But it's just so that you can heal it and see, you know, maybe you want it, like, as I'm a resto druid, right? So let's say I just want to spam heal my my regrowth, boom boom, just to see what kind of output it gets. And then maybe I just want to just spam my healing touch and see what kind of stuff that gets, or nourish, or whatever. You can test each one and see, you know, you could you know, I'm going to change out some hates for some crit, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you know. And it's the same, it's really no different than a DPS target dummy. So I mean, I think it'd be a really great idea to have that. You know, that would be that I think that would be really cool. So hopefully, you know, they'll take that into consideration and maybe do it. Um, because there's been some times when I have wanted to see, you know, after getting a certain, seeing like when my stats have changed. Um, Obviously, you know, you're not going to be able to know how much spirit you need. That's very fight dependent. You kind of have to just know, you know. So if you're going through your fights, you know, you go through a raid, and you know, if you're having lots of mana issues, well, you know, you have to just add some, you know, change some stuff out for spirit. You're just gonna have to. But if you're going through every raid and every boss and you're never having any kind of mana issues whatsoever, dude, get rid of some of that spirit. That's, you know, that's the kind of stuff that you just have to learn, because it's also a matter of play style too. Some people just like to spam the really big heals, and if, you know, if you're not the best at managing your mana, you might have to have a little more spirit than other people. But you know, a target dummy for healers, a healing dummy would be really cool. I think it would be really cool. So that's my take on that. And I don't think that's I'm a casual player, and that I think that would be good for anybody. You don't have to be a casual player to like that. So what else do we got here? Oh man, I hope my laptop is able to handle this. Looks like my sync went off a little bit. Anyways, hopefully my mouth is moving to my words. All right, next on the list, I have. Oh yeah, they had these stats about. This is just going to be a really quick thing, and then I'll probably bring it to an end for today. Um, they have all these stats, right? Guys that convert to raid, we're talking about it. That, you know, talk about how many people are doing, you know, LFR and flex and normal or whatever. So they saw this. They were trying to figure out, you know, why is it that in LFR you have, I think it was 60 or 65% of active players. These are it's whatever. I'm not sure. They just call it active players, people who have played since a certain date, November 1st or something like that. Whatever the case, it's not really important. So let's say 65% of these active players um, were completing the first two wings of LFR, and only like 30 or 35 or 40, I don't remember. It was a big drop, a big drop in the amount of people completing the last two wings of LFR. And they were a little, they weren't sure why this was happening. Um, and it could be that, as look at, for me, for example, with my mage, right? Um, I only run the first two wings of LFR, and you know why? Because I'm still getting Titan runes, and they only drop from the first two wings in Siege of Orgrimmar. They drop from the last two in TOT, and the first two in Siege of Orgrimmar. So if anybody was wondering why there was this big discrepancy, I'm guessing that's what it is. I'm guessing that's what it is. So anyway, I guess that's past the 15-minute mark here. So I'll probably leave it off today with that. I got a couple of more topics so far that I want to talk about probably on the next episode. I want to talk about five mans, lack of five mans and mists, and looks like they're going to bring more back in Warlords, and not just at the beginning, more in those end patches too, like we had with Cataclysm and Wrath and all that stuff. So I'll talk about that. I want to talk about maybe what we can do to get more tanks playing, get more people to tank, I should say. What can we do to help that out? What else? I got all the confusion about time travel in Warlords, and what's going on there, how they're dealing with the time travel stuff. What else do I got? I got another one. PvP versus PvE conflicts. You know, always know the difference when they make changes to PvP because or they make changes to classes because it breaks PvP. Basically, that's what happens, right? They always have to make these changes to classes because PvP is broken. So sometime this week I'll going to talk about that a little bit, and I'll probably do a little more research, see what other news I could find. Without Legendary this week, it was a little tough because that's usually where I get all my topics. That's where I get the majority of my topics from, because they really talk about a lot of stuff. They really talk about a lot of change. You know, they really talk about the game a lot. So, so yeah, that's about it for today, people. So thanks for watching. As usual, if you want to send me an email, it's right there, wowonmymind at gmail.com. You can find me on Nazgrel, the server Nazgrel, which is connected with Nessingwary and Vecnalash. So if you're on any of those servers, I am either on PowerShift or Idemit, which is Timothy spelled backwards, on that realm. If you want to give me a holler, go ahead. My battle tag is FatBoss Tim, number 1518. You know, if you want to hit me up, just send me a message saying, hey, I watch your show, and maybe we can raid together. What else? Oh, and if you want to see my if you just want to see my tunes, you can just get on the Armory. No, you don't even have to go on the Armory. I put a link in the about part of the YouTube channel. So on the Wow on My Mind YouTube channel, it's in there. If you go down and click about, I think it's in there. There's a link somewhere in there. With my 2 characters, you'll see Mage, Idamit, Druid, Power Shift, and you can just click on those, and you'll see my it'll bring you to the armory directly to my tunes, or the tune you clicked on, and you'll see what I got. So that's about it for today, people. Till next time, and thanks for watching. Please, please, please subscribe right there. Yeah, it should be right there somewhere. All right, and please like if you like this. It helps. Please leave some comments, please. I want to know what you think. Maybe you even have some ideas of, what my opinions are on other topics. Maybe, maybe I missed something. So just give me a holler. Leave that comment, get that like, hit that subscribe. Oh, speaking of subscriptions, I got my first one. I'm so happy. I got my first subscription, and I hope it keeps going. That'd be really cool. So take care, guys. Have a good one.